Hi everyone. It's been a while, a little longer than I planned between updates, but I didn't have a whole lot exciting to update about, so I just didn't bother spending the energy to do an update. I've been struggling quite a bit with a lot of stuff. Excuse me. I'm still struggling with the air hunger, even though it's not every day isn't as bad as it was for that week and a half stretch. Before I did the treatment with the Coartem, it's still a struggle many days, and so that's a big thing. And just in general, like things are more of a struggle than usual. I saw my doctor yesterday, and she said during my appointment, and she's said this in the past, that like she really has been trying to think of other things that we haven't tried, that we aren't doing, that could help to push me past this point that I'm at now. Because I'm kind of at a relatively stable point, kind of a plateau, and like treatment helps to keep me where I am and so that I don't get worse, and to help manage the symptoms that I have, but it's not really helping me to get much further than I am. And we both feel like I can get better than I am, so she really, like, I feel like she really does everything she can, and I mean, when she's at conferences, she comes back from conferences and says she specifically was, thought of me when something was brought up, and so, like, I feel really confident that she is doing everything that she possibly can to try to think of something that might help me. But it feels like we're both struggling a little bit to figure out what that might be. She did suggest possibly going to see this person who does kind of energy type work, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit out there. My doctor herself has been a patient of this woman, so she said that like she feels like this woman is credible and really excuse me, can be helpful, and so she gave me her information. But there's not a whole lot right now that is coming up on the radar. So I'm this is apparently not necessarily the best time to make a video. My voice is not terrific. Um, so for right now, my treatment is staying more or less the same. I'm staying on the IV clindamycin with the same schedule. I'm staying on oral Zithromax. I'm staying on oral Rifabutin, both with the same schedule, although the Zithromax will be slightly altered in that I will essentially not be taking it on Mondays, because on the weekends I will be doing, or on the weekend right before, I'm not explaining this well at all. The weekend at the end of my week off, I'll be doing a round of Coartem, because the babesia and the air hunger and stuff is still definitely an issue. So I'll do that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then she feels like I need to not jump right back on the Zithromax, so I'll wait until Wednesday to start back on the Zithromax. So I'll slightly alter schedule with that, but so I'll do, I think before I see her next, I'll do either 2 or 3 rounds of the Coartem, and see how that goes. So theoretically, I should do one this coming weekend, because I have this week off from antibiotics. Whether or not that actually happens, though, partially depends on whether I can get the pills from my pharmacy in time and stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan as far as my treatment goes. We're also trying to figure out a couple of other things. figure out my dysautonomia stuff a little bit better, because the symptoms flare, and so we're trying to get that a little bit under control. And yeah, I forget what else. I feel like there were other things that we talked about doing. Oh, I'm also going to be doing, taking diflucan, but not daily, just at the end of my weeks of treatment. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan for the next 2 months. And I go back to see her at the very end of June. My appointment should have actually been the first week of July, but she's away that week, and then I'm away the following week, so it's going to be the end of June, which is crazy that it's already going to be summer when I see her again. Yeah, so that is the treatment plan aspect of it. With all of this, like, there's not that much that's really worse, but it's enough that it's, like, I get frustrated more easily, and, like, I'm just struggling, and I'm having one of those times right now where I'm just, like, kind of down and, angry and sad and upset and frustrated and all of that, and that's hard to deal with, and I'm not good at talking to the people around me about it, so I think I need to be better about that, and because it's hard, like, I don't really even understand why I'm feeling that way, so it's hard for me to then talk to someone else who understands even less, because I mean, I want to help, specifically Eric. I want to help Eric to understand that I'm not necessarily just feeling bad physically, because that's easier for me to explain. But right now, it's like I'm emotionally drained and, like, on edge. So, any ideas or suggestions or experiences you have? I think that's more or less it. I have done some new reorganizing stuff of my little garden stuff at my apartment, which I'm not at right now. I'm at Eric's. So I will do another video showing that soon. And Charlotte is doing well. I think my last video was just after she had broken her collarbone, and she is healing really well, and, like, she's not wearing her sling anymore, and I think she today had a follow-up doctor's appointment. No, yesterday had a follow-up doctor's appointment with the orthopedist, and I mean, she's acting normal. Last week she was acting normal and not, I mean, she hadn't been in any pain basically from when I saw her afterwards. So she has healed really, really well, and is doing really well. So so that's good. Yeah, so that's kind of the overview of what's going on. I have been spending a lot of time lying around. I've also been spending a lot of time running around doing things, so it's like I feel like I'm either in fast forward or in pause mode. Like, there's no regular play mode. It's a weird analogy, I feel like, but hang on one sec. Sorry, my pump battery just died. So I feel like I'm either, like, running around crazy doing stuff or sleeping. I mean, or not necessarily sleeping, but, like, lying around. Right now I'm on the pull-out bed couch at Eric's in the living room, and that's where I spent a lot of time lately. Like, I wake up in the morning. If I'm not going to work, I wake up in the morning. So if I'm not going to work and I'm here, I should say that. I wake up in the morning and I go from regular bed to the couch bed, and I mean that's kind of, I think that's okay for me to be doing right now. I mean, I'm not at the point yet where I'm frustrated with that, because it feels okay. But it is frustrating that that's kind of what I need to be doing. So, and there was something else that popped into my mind a couple minutes ago, and now I've forgotten it, and I have no idea what it was. It's annoying. I hate when that happens. Anyway, if I think about it, I'll tack it on or do another video or something. So, I hope you are all doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. I remembered what the other thing I wanted to say was, which is not really important, and I probably could have just left it out, but whatever. But, like, another area that I'm frustrated lately in, partly has to do with my memory, which is not great. I mean, it's particularly not great lately. And with all of my IV supplies and medical needs and, you know, pills and all that, I try to stay on top of things and stay really organized. But there are times, like today, when I find myself without something that I need in order to do one of my treatments. Today it happened to be that I didn't realize in time before I left from my apartment yesterday to come to Eric's that I didn't have any more of the tubing for my regular pump here at Eric's, and I didn't bring any with me from my apartment. So luckily, I happen to have my other noisy pump that we kind of affectionately call Vader, that you might be able to hear. And I have tubing for that, so like in a pinch, I'm able to do that. But if I didn't have that, I would have had to get in the car and drive a half an hour to my apartment and get tubing. And I mean, I I have neurological impairments, and as much as I try to be organized and stay on top of it all, there are things like this that happen, and it's becoming more and more frustrating for me every time something like this happens. And like today, especially with being at a point where my emotions are kind of right on the edge, it was, looking through my medical supplies here and realizing that I did not have any of that tubing, and I was going to have to run my infusion slower because Vader can't run as fast as my other pump, and that it was going to be the noisy pump, which doesn't matter quite so much because I'm not going to be out doing stuff today really, but like that was just frustrating, and like I get mad at myself for not being more organized, but then I also just get mad that I have to think about those things at all. So that was just a frustrating part of the morning. And I also was deaccessed. I skipped my infusion. I skipped my fluids yesterday because my skin around my port needed a day off because it was not happy about always being covered with a dressing. So I gave it a day off, and then I chose to take a shower this morning because I was like, oh well, I'll just feel so much better. And somehow I managed to forget how crappy I feel when I take a shower. Like, I know that I feel bad, but I forget just how bad. So, anyway, hopefully this afternoon I will sleep and rest and feel better, and not be quite as frustrated for tomorrow when I'm working a long day. So, that's it. That's all I wanted to add. So, I'll talk to you guys soon.